Humans of the cardboard, this is out of this world crazy. We have insane reveals going on this morning. Apparently, this is the downside of when you make a video game for your competitive card game. Sometimes when you port information on cards early, they can get leaked by people being able to go into the back parts of a game and kind of find that information. So stick with me. I just woke up, but there's a ton of stuff being leaked super early, and it's just out and about. So shout out to YG organization for getting it all done, but we have a ton to get through. I think I might break it up into two parts because it is a ton of stuff. I don't want this to be a full hour long video, and I'm going to try and zoom through the cards relatively quickly to get where we need to go. So let's start off here. We start with Dawn Angel Combine. Apparently, this is Alliance Insight World Premieres as well as Mitsurugi Wave 2 cards already being linked. The first one is Dawn Angel Cambine. This is a level 1 light fairy. Okay. 500 attack, 1800 defense. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are fairies, you can special summon this card from your hand. You contribute any number of fairies, including this card, to special summon a fairy monster from your deck whose level equals the total levels of those monsters you had on the field. You cannot special summon the turn you activate this effect, except fairy monsters. You can only use each effect once per turn. This seems really strong. This seems like a really strong, okay, so if this works the way I think it does, right? So it doesn't take your normal summon, and as a level 1, you can just special this. Then you contribute. It says any number of fairies. It doesn't say it has to have. You have to attribute something as well as this. But does that mean going first? I can just go special summon this. I have not normal summoned. Tribute this to summon any level 1 fairy from the deck, right? And you're locked into fairies, but depending on the deck you're doing it with, that could be really good. So this is basically like a lone fire blossom that doesn't take your normal summon for fairies. Of course, it hard locks you into fairies, so that is something you have to come to terms with. But in a specific deck that doesn't mind being locked into fairies, you're good to go. I was gonna say voiceless voice, but because they summon, not their whole archetype is fairies. They have some dragon stuff, but I'm sure there is something that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head here. That this could be really good in. This is just a good card in a vacuum, so that's really cool. All right, next up we have Hrimnir, the Divine Follower, a level 9 light fairy, 2200 attack, 22 defense. You contribute 3 fairy monsters from your hand or field as cost to set 1 continuous spell from your deck, but send it to the graveyard during your opponent's end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. This one's not as good. It's just so costly. I mean, it's kind of powerful. Getting stuff like continuous spells, deck lockdown, floodgate wise, or is it D Fisher? Right? D Fisher, stuff like that. Like there are some powerful continuous spells that are pretty strong. But this one's just so costly. I don't really see it being worth it. I guess you contribute itself to make it hard to interact with, but still, Ash Blossom, you lose the game. All right, fun. Next up, we have Vingolf's Blessing, continuous spell. Okay, might work with the stuff up there. When this card is activated, you can send 1 light fairy monster from your deck to the graveyard. Whoa! Just foolish for light fairies. Okay. Fairy monsters you control gain 100 attack for each fairy monster on your field and graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a level 4 lower fairy monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can only activate 1 Vingolf's Blessing once per turn. Okay, so the level 1 and this card actually are just, in a vacuum, really solid fairy support. It's going to take a specific deck. I know not all fairy decks have great graveyard synergy, but still just sending Trias Hierarchia, or there's definitely some out there. I think the Agents archetype has quite a bit of decent send targets here. This is definitely really interesting. Those two cards are very interesting. The one in the middle, not so much. All right, next up here we have fish support. This is Aspis School, a level 4 water fish monster, 300 for the stats. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a level 6 or lower fish from your hand in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, it's like a marauding captain for fish. Level 6 is nice that it's not just fours and lowers, and they banish when they leave the field, um, which is good for what's the fish archetype called? Why am I going crazy? I can't even remember what it's called right now. The fish archetype that wants to be banished. And if this card is banished, you can special summon this card in defense position. This card's fine, but again, like this is the kind of card where like if this gets impermed, does your deck extend past it cleanly? That's going to be the bigger question. It's not a great card in a vacuum, but it's fine, and it could be the type of push that maybe the deck needs, but I don't know. Next up, we have Toxbox or Toxic Boxfish. Love the name. Level 4 Waterfish Synchro. 1800 attack, 800 defense. Takes any tuner or non-tuner. If this card is Synchro summoned, target a card in either graveyard, banish it. Oh, what's up, Synchro SP Little Knight? There you go. If this card is banished, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. This card just may not be bad at all. This card could just be pretty decent. I don't know. This card seems cool. I don't know if level 4 is something you know, that I can't. God, I really can't remember the name right now. It's too early. But that fish deck needs. But like, okay, not a bad card. I like that one more than the first one. And lastly, for them, we have Fish and Bids as a normal spell. At the start of your main one, banish one card from your hand as cost. Your opponent can banish 2 cards from their hand. If they do not, you apply this effect. Take 2 fish monsters from your deck and either banish both or send both to the graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except fishes. Holy, this card's insane for goatee. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean, unless you're playing like specifically Malice, forcing your opponent to give up 2 cards from hand is insane cost. But this card is pretty, I would assume this is pretty much combo on its own. Banishing 2 fish from the deck immediately is really good for goatee. This card's crazy. This card's actually crazy. It is the start of your main one, so like that changes some things with this card, meaning you can't ever search it really in the main phase or anything, because you have to use it right at the beginning. But cool, I like that. That's really good. All right, couple Cyberse. What is this? One Cyberse card. This is Replicard LAD, level 7 Dark Cyberse effect monster, 25. You can banish one other level 7 or higher monster from your hand to special summon it from the hand. You can target one face-up monster you control, special summon a monster from your deck with a different name that has 2 or more of the same level attack and or defense, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. Interesting. He can target himself, but that's a level 7. I guess that allows you to summon like a level 7 monster with 2500 attack. Dark Magician. I guess there could actually be some applications here. It's tough that like you can't just banish any other card in your hand. It has to be a level 7 or higher monster, which just like unless you're playing a deck that already has a hefty amount of those, how often is this card? How consistent is this card? Are you going to open it with something you want? But pretty decent. That actually could have applications in the specific decks to pull pretty good cards out of the deck and get them in rotation. So don't hate it. Sakura Vendorage. It's a rank 4 dark psychic effect monster. Rank 4. God, everybody hide. 2000 attack, 2500 defense, 2 level 4s, completely generic, rank 4. Detach one material from this card, target a level/rank 4 psychic. Whoa, is this just Time Thief support? Special summon it. If a monster is special summoned while this card is in your monster zone, you can target one other face-up monster on the field. That monster's name becomes Sakura Vendorage until the end phase. Interesting. So like specific decks that need specific named monsters, this card can change the name. But I would think more often than not, you're just using this to like reborn a redoer and make use of, redoer effect to recoup materials and stuff as the duel goes on. But okay, this card's fine. It doesn't seem that crazy to me, but it's interesting. Or against like a specific deck like Blue Eyes, being able to change a Blue Eyes to not being Blue Eyes to turn off other effects could be kind of funny. But most decks probably have a way to work around it, so it's not that big a deal. Tiki Piece, continuous trap card. Special summon this card as an effect monster. It's a rock, level 4 earth, 18/18 with the following effect. This card is also a trap. Quick effect, you can pay 800 life points to special summon a continuous trap, except Tiki Piece from your graveyard or banishment as a normal monster, and its name becomes Tiki Piece, even while face down. That card is not treated as a trap. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, weird. So this is now like a new like Silhouette Rabbit target that you can get another trap monster back to the field with. That's pretty interesting. So like if I use like Angel Statue as a rune and I use it, it goes to graveyard, it uses interruption. Can I use this card to summon it back? And does it still have its effects once it's summoned back and face up again? I'd be curious, but okay, it's an interesting card. It could have some synergy with like some of the new Eldritch stuff, and obviously Odeon's archetype. We're seeing more of these trap monsters coming around, so that's an interesting card, but it still seems a little bit slow. All right, now we get to the Mitsurugi stuff to finish off this video. This is Mitsurugi no Mikoto Aramasa. This is a level 4 Dark Reptile, 12/9 for the stats. If this card's normal or special or tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi monster from deck to hand. Crazy. That's really good to get an additional name that basically does the same thing. I think, or does the one guy search spell and traps? I can't remember if is it Saki that searches spell or traps. And then if another reptile monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can tribute this card instead. Cool. Just a little bonus protection, but mainly just having another good consistency card like that is really nice. It's not a one card line though, because just searching any other monster in the archetype does not do enough because they don't tribute on their own. But maybe we'll get another monster here that does that. Speaking of which, we have Mitsurugi no Miko Wusu, level 8 Dark Reptile, 2000. This is a main deck, just regular, not a ritual. You can special summon this card from by tributing one other reptile monster from your hand and one monster your opponent controls. Whoa, but you cannot special summon nor activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except reptile. So this card gives you some going second oomph, but it forces you to play a hard reptile version of the deck. Okay. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way, and if this card is tributed, discard one card, and if you do, add this card to your hand. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. Very interesting. Okay. We'll see. Like, this is the kind of card that like makes the deck interesting going second for sure, but not sure it's worth having to cut the Raziel engine, right? So we'll see. Next up here we have Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi, level 8 Dark Reptile Ritual. A new ritual, scary. 2400, 1800. You can ritual summon this card with Mitsurugi Ritual. Monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack. You can reveal this card in your hand. Special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your deck. Then tribute one monster you control. What are we doing? So now this guy you just literally, it's like a spell, and you just reveal him. You don't even have to like you don't even lose him from the hand. So you just summon Saki or the guy we looked, the level 4 above, just summon them from the deck, then tribute them, and then they search. Dang, man. You can only use this effect once per duel. Okay. So it is once per duel, but like still, it's a starter card. And then if this card is tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, except for itself. Then you can special summon this card. So like, oh my gosh, you reveal this card, reveal this card from your special summon one of the level 4 searchers from your deck, then tribute himself. Does he count as a monster you control, or does he like? Maybe he doesn't count because he's in hand, not on field. I don't know. That one's weird, but this card seems pretty good still. That's a really nice addition, I think. Mitsurugi Mirror. Ritual spell. This card can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual from hand or grave. Ooh, boy. You can also tribute reptile monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the monster. If Ame no Futsu or Habakiri you control is tributed while this card is in your grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Okay, I put this itself back. This card's fine. Isn't the other ritual not once per turn? So does this one actually matter that much? It's possible. It's fine. But it rituals from grave. The other one seems like it just kind of outclasses this one a little bit. But I don't know. You tell me. I'm also not a Mitsurugi specialist. Mitsurugi Magatama, new quick play spell. During the main phase, activate one of these effects. Tribute a reptile monster to target a face-up card your opponent controls. Destroy it. Okay, I was going to say if it says negate, that's crazy. We just cut the trap probably for this because they kind of do the same thing, but this one gets a tribute. Maybe. Maybe you wouldn't. Or ritual summon a Mitsurugi ritual from your hand by tributing monsters you control whose total levels equal or exceed. So it'd be a regular ritual summon, but they are pretty fuel efficient when they are tributed and stuff. So I like the versatility on that. That actually could be a one of searchable card in the deck for removal. You know, that could be cool. I don't hate that card. Not great, but like nice utility. Continuous spell. This is Mitsurugi Sacred Boundary. Your opponent cannot target Mitsurugi ritual monsters you control with effects of monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. Okay. You can target 4 Mitsurugi cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, make them tribute one monster they control. This card's not good. This card will not see play. I don't see this one seeing play. The deck has enough ways to like kind of like recur stuff. This card just doesn't do enough. Forcing your opponent to tribute something, they get to pick. It's just meh. All right, make Mitsurugi Tempest our final card here. Normal trap. If you have a Mitsurugi ritual spell in your graveyard, tribute 3 monsters whose original names are Ame no Murakumo, Futsu no Mitama, or Ame no Habakiri. Make your opponent banish exactly 8 cards from their hand, extra deck, field, and/or grave. You can only activate once per turn. This card won't see play either. The other trap's just better. This one, like giving your opponent a way to choose, and if they have enough set of stuff they've gone through that's like in the grave, they're just gonna choose to banish like the useless stuff in grave first, or cards they don't plan on going into the extra deck with. If this just forced them to banish over half their extra deck, it would be pretty scary. But I think it's fine. So that card I don't think is that great. The continuous spell I don't think is that great. The quick play has some cool utility for them. The new ritual spell could be okay. I don't think it's a bad ritual spell. I just think the other one they have might just be better. I do like the level 8 ritual a lot. I don't mind. I don't like care for the other level 8 unless you're gonna play the all reptile version, which is just way worse. And I do like the new level 4 as well, giving you monster searches. So some good cards in here, but we already know this deck was kind of scary. So we didn't want to see anything too crazy. We just want to see stuff that maybe made them be a little bit more focused on being like a pure deck. That would have been ideal, but it is what it is. So very cool. Let me know your thoughts down below on this new support here. We're talking about Advanced stuff next, so stay tuned for the video that I'm about to do after this. Yeah, cranking through it, but I don't have that much time. So appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.